Y'all, this is B Jizzle of the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Welcome to the #1 LA Clipper podcast out there. We want to first give you guys a shout out, LA Clipper fan, LA Clipper Nations, for being here. You guys will not be disappointed. We're going to be rewarding y'all for y'all loyalty, commitment to the #1 Clipper podcast on these YouTube streams. Share this podcast with your family and friends. They will not be disappointed, but let's get it popping because it's going to be a great one. With that being said, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull out, peace. Out of here like swimwear.
Monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a freak throw, man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro, nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. 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 But don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you. Shoo! 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 Beep, 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 beep. You better walk around like Daft Punk. Remember? Hey, Top Dog, who the fuck they think they playing with? Extortion my middle name as soon as you jump off of that plane, bitch. I'm allergic to the lame shit, only you like being famous. Yachty can't give you no swag neither. I don't give a fuck about who you hanging with. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Surprised you wanted that feature. You know that we got some shit to address. I even hate when you say the word nigga, but that's just me, I guess. Some shit just cringeworthy, ain't even gotta be deep, I guess. Still love when you see success. Everything with me is blessed. Keep making me dance, waving my hand, and it won't be no threat. I'm knowing they call you the boy, but where's the man? Cause I ain't seen him yet. Matter of fact, I ain't even bleed him yet. Can I bleed him back? When I see you stand by sexy red, I believe you see two bad bitches. I believe you don't like women, it's real competition. You might pop ass with them. Let's speak on percentage. Show me your splits, I'll make sure I double back with you. You assigned to a nigga that signed to a nigga that said he was signed to that nigga. Try cease and desist on a like that record. Oh, what, you ain't like that record? Back to back, I like that record. I'ma get back to that for the record. Why would I call around trying to get dirt on niggas? Y'all thinking my life is rap? That's whole shit. I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know nothing about that. Waking them up, know nothing about that. Then tell them to pray, know nothing about that. Then giving them tools to walk through life like tape by tape, know nothing about that. Teaching them morals, integrity, discipline. Listen, man, you don't know nothing about that. Speaking the truth and consider what God's considering. You don't know nothing about that. Ain't 20v1, it's 1v20 if I gotta smack niggas that right with you. Yeah, bring them out too, I clean them out too. Tell Bean that he better stay right with you. Am I battling ghosts or AI? Nigga feeling like Joel Austin. Funny he was in a film called AI. And my 6'6" telling me to off him. I'ma blick niggas all in their coffin. Yeah, OVO niggas is dick riders. Tell them run to America to imitate heritage. They can't imitate this violence. What I learned is niggas don't like the West Coast, and I'm fine with it. I'll push the line with it. Pick a nigga off one at a time with it. We can be on a 3-hour time difference. Don't speak on the family, Crody. It can get deep in the family, Crody. Talk about me and my family, Crody. Someone go bleed in your family, Crody. I be at Newhall King eating fried rice with a dip sauce and a blammy, Crody. Tell me your cheesing farm. We can do this right now on the camera, Crody. Hey, fuck y'all niggas, I don't trust y'all niggas. I wave one finger and thump y'all niggas like, field goal punt y'all niggas, they punk y'all niggas. Nobody never took my food. Whoever that's fucking with them, fuck you niggas, and fuck the industry too. If you take it there, I'm taking it further. Psst, that's something you don't wanna do. Ooh, we don't wanna hear you say nigga no more. We don't wanna hear you say nigga no more. Stop.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. All of our YouTube videos, hit that like button. Y'all come in here, hit the share, subscribe, hit that Cash App. $ BJ Matthews, $ BJ Matthews for all this great content we drop here on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. If you guys do not have Cash App, you can also do Venmo, which is at BJ/MATHEWS/1. That is our Venmo. If you guys want to continue to support the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. And last but not least, if you guys don't have either Cash App or Venmo, you can easily go to our super stickers and super comments that are available. All you got to do is hit that $ in the chat box to the right. On the bottom corner, and you guys can donate to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast at your own discretion. But let's get it popping. All right. So we are back with LA Clipper Talk. You know what I'm saying? We took a couple of days off. Well, actually, no, we had a live yesterday. I'm tripping. But This video I'm doing is a pre-recorded video. It's done on Monday night. I decided to do it after I got back home to the crib, and it will be dropping Tuesday morning. By the time y'all wake up, y'all be seeing this actually in the actual, you know what I'm saying, the videos. So we got another video that I've been, really kind of, anxious to kind of do. And I thought it was going to come to this time eventually. It took about a week to get here, but we are finally here. We're actually a week exactly from what actually transpired. So last week, obviously, a couple things happened with our, Paul George, who was the former Clipper All-Star for the team. He's now with the Philadelphia 76ers. He had a podcast that came out last week speaking about, his departure from the LA Clippers and what actually was detailed of what actually happened. He went into full detail of what they actually, why they came to a decision, to go opposite ways. A lot of people were kind of shocked by all the details that PG gave out. Of course, you guys saw my video about it, how I felt about it. If you guys have not seen it, make sure y'all go back to my video last week speaking about Paul George speaks about leaving the Clippers, and you guys can see my full actual analysis about that situation. And also Kawhi Leonard was withdrawn from the Team USA last Wednesday. We had a attention breaking news. I think it was actually last Thursday that he would not be participating in Team USA basketball. I think it wasn't so much of a shock that he's not going to be playing, but it's more so the timing of how this actually happened. Why the people are kind of a little bit shocked about it. But all things happened last week, and we finally got some response from the GM of our team, the LA Clippers, which is none other than Mr. Lawrence Frank, who's actually the president of basketball operations for the Clippers, not the general manager. I wanted to make that clear. But after a week of basically being silent and not saying anything pertaining to these two situations, Lawrence Frank finally held a press conference in Las Vegas earlier today, speaking upon not just, Kawhi Leonard being out the Olympics, but also PG's contract negotiations very briefly. So it's a lot to unpack. So what I'm going to do is just do one by one like I always do. First, we're going to talk about the Kawhi Leonard news about, his situation. And then we're going to move to Paul George. And I might touch on a couple more things after, but I want to do, some information about, what has actually transpired. So it's going to be multiple videos. It's going to be multiple audios. So make sure y'all just sit back and relax and enjoy the show. I'm going to make it entertaining as possible. But what I want to first do is let y'all hear Lawrence Frank speaking about Kawhi, what officially happened, and why that, he's pulled off of Team USA. And I'm going to let y'all go into detail to see what he actually said about it. It's about, a minute and 45 seconds. He speaks about it. So I want y'all to kind of hear what Lawrence Frank has to say.
Lawrence Frank speaks on Team USA's decision for Kawhi Leonard to not compete in the Olympics. Check out the video.
Kawhi, did he have a setback in any way with the inflammation of his knee or anything else in his knee for USA to kind of move in a different direction?
No, it was USAB's call, and I was, quite frankly, very disappointed with the decision. Kawhi wanted to play. We wanted him to play. I was there the first two practices. He looked very good. Was a full participant in everything that they did. I wasn't there for the third practice, where ultimately that was the point where they decided to go in a different direction. I expressed to them, I really wish that they would have given Kawhi more time. We have the benefit of having been around Kawhi for 5 years to see his body and see where he's at. He looked good to me. I know all the sacrifices he made in order to make this commitment to the Olympics. So it was very disappointing. Now, with that being said, I understand from USAB's perspective that they have to look what they feel is in the best interest of the team, despite what I think. They're also managing some other players who are dealing with injuries. So I understand that they have to do what's best. But, we were really disappointed, for Kawhi. And this is something we really wanted for him. But with that being said, now I think we you have to move forward. We support USAB. Desperately want to see them win the gold medal. I know that's how Kawhi feels too. Despite really wanting to play, he's there for his guys and wish them the best. And obviously, just with T. Lou and Jeff there too, it's want those guys to have the best experience.
Be sure.
All right, so that was President of Basketball Operations Lawrence Frank speaking upon Kawhi Leonard being pulled from Team USA. Obviously, a totally different outcome as far as what was actually reported. We're gonna get into that, but like I said, I want to just play all the audio and video, and then we're gonna come back, circle back and kind of go through video by video, step by step. But I want to get through all these videos of what actually is going on. So Lawrence Frank said that, basically that Team USA was more so their decision than the Clippers of getting pulled off of Team USA, and that they felt like Kawhi Leonard could play, and they wanted him to play, and Kawhi wanted to play. So that's what he had to say. Now I want y'all to hear what Shams Charania, who was an NBA insider, said just today about, him being pulled off of Team USA, and actually, what was the reasoning behind that. So I want y'all to hear what Shams Charania has to say. It's about a minute and a half, 2-minute video. So here we go.
That you and him dap each other up whenever you see each other walking through hallways, Shams.
Yeah, that's the no look. That's the no look dap right there. I'm not taking any credit for that one. But
You look clean.
what I will say about LeBron James, spending time in that Team USA practice setting, watching that game, and the way that he's moved, the way he's looked, you think about he's going into his 22nd season in the NBA. He's going to be 40 years old in December. He's not supposed to look this good at
all. I can't believe Bronny's not on team. There's a chance Bronny make team maybe in a few years after some work in the G League and with the Lakers, fully guaranteed contract. Shout out Rich Paul. Dude's an absolute dog. Let's talk about Team USA people that leave. Kawhi Leonard just said, nah, I don't want to represent the United States. How'd that entire thing work out? And are we ever going to watch Kawhi Leonard play basketball? I missed that. That guy was good. You remember in the corner, the shot, the bounce? Remember the handles, smack the floor? I mean, are we ever going to watch this guy play basketball again? What is the case here?
That was the part of why essentially, Kawhi Leonard left the Clippers, because of how he looked. And USA as much as this was a Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers joint decision as far as him withdrawing from the team, this was also a little bit about Team USA as well. And they saw him go through multiple days of practices. And I saw at least one day, and the way Steph Curry, LeBron James, and those guys looked on the court compared to how Kawhi Leonard looked, USA essentially determined that he did not meet their criteria for fitness and fit to be able to play moving forward. So as much as Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers pulled the plug, USA Basketball pulled the plug as well. Grant Hill was actually a little bit surprisingly more vocal about that. The fact that they also, Team USA, played a part in this. Kawhi Leonard wanted to play. I think the Clippers are hopeful he's going to have a full offseason, get healthy. But there has been some concern about his knee. The same knee that he had the torn ACL a few years ago. He had the torn meniscus a couple years ago. This is something that the Clippers have to monitor the rest of the summer. And that's what this is about, his longevity and his being able to play in NBA games this season and for the next few. He's starting a 3-year, $150 million contract this upcoming season. So that is very important.
He wanted to play, though, you're saying. He wanted to play.
He wanted to play.
Okay,
and
that's
people
good.
around him
Got a full off season. He'll work. He'll get back. We'll be able to see Kawhi instead of where's Kawhi? I'm excited. Hey, Kawhi, we missed you, buddy.
Good luck, Kawhi.
Kawhi, good luck.
All right, so I apologize for the first 15 seconds. It was starting with LeBron, so I had to fast forward to what they were talking about Kawhi. So basically, that was Shams Charania coming out speaking about Kawhi Leonard being withdrawn from Team USA. As y'all come in here, smash that like button as y'all come in here. So two different things said really from Lawrence Frank and then Shams Charania. Lawrence Frank pretty much said it was all Team USA that made the decision, that they had nothing to do with it. They wanted Kawhi to play. They said that he was healthy. They felt like he looked good in practice the first 2 days, according to Lawrence Frank. And then Shams Charania is saying, well, Team USA did have a hand in it. There was also concerns with Kawhi Leonard's knee as well. So a little different from both sides. And now the last video I want to play is from the guy that they mentioned, Shams Charania mentioned. That's Mr. Grant Hill, who is a NBA legend. Could have been one of the top, in my opinion, top 30 to 40 players of all time if he never got hurt. Just an all-around, great forward. In his time, he played in the 90s and parts in the 2000s. And him and himself got, his injuries, that he suffered kind of put him, not able to play. But he was an all-American at Duke University under Mike Krzyzewski. And then he goes to, the NBA, gets picked up by the Detroit Pistons. He played for the Orlando Magic, played for the Phoenix Suns. And just injuries really held him back, which is why he was pretty vocal about what actually transpired in the Olympics. So I want y'all to hear what Grant Hill has to say. It's about a minute and a half, 2-minute video. All right, so here we go.
So, yeah, no, we just, we know moving forward, as we leave Las Vegas and we get to Abu Dhabi, we hit the ground and it's a sprint to the finish line. And so, our decision was made, and I think we were open and honest and understanding through it all. And like I said, your heart goes out, but we have to do what's best for the team and protect the team and give ourselves the best opportunity for success. Well, I'm more of a foot and ankle guy, so I don't understand the knees. But no, I mean, we just felt that we had to pivot, and not to get into the particulars, in terms of what went into the decision, but we just felt it was in our best interest, but also in the Clippers and in Kawhi's best interest to move into a different direction. And we tried. I think we all tried, and we gave it a valiant effort. And unfortunately, we have to move forward.
The way that you are framing this, it makes it sound like you guys sent him home.
No, I mean we did. I mean, ultimately he was sent home, but we were in conversation with the Clippers on that. And
what's his take on this? Did he want to stay?
I mean, look, I think he wanted to be here, like all these guys want to be here, and we don't take that lightly at all. It speaks to the program and the opportunity, and so personally speaking, I know what it's like to want to do something, and your body's just not right, and I've lived that personally, and so I applaud him for coming here and willing to sacrifice, give up his summer, and represent our country and play for our program. And it just ultimately it didn't work out. So.
All right, so 3 different videos. As y'all come in here, smash that like button. We're gonna speak upon now some things. I want to really kind of draw back until like what actually was said. From all 3 of the guys. So you had Lawrence Frank, you had Shams Charania, you had Grant Hill right there. And the reason why I played all 3 of those videos, I want y'all to really take into what all 3 of those guys say. So I want to kind of circle back real quick. Real briefly, I'm not going to play everybody. I want to play more so Lawrence Frank's video and kind of let y'all hear my thoughts as I stop the video. And, we'll go from there. So I want y'all to kind of, hear what Lawrence Frank had to say again with Kawhi Leonard being withdrawn from Team USA. So here we go.
Lawrence Frank speaks on Team USA's decision for Kawhi Leonard to not compete in the Olympics. Check out the video.
Kawhi, did he have a setback in any way with the inflammation in his knee or anything else in his knee for USA to kind of move in a different direction?
No, it was USAB's call, and I was, quite frankly, very disappointed with the decision. Kawhi wanted to play. We wanted him to play. I was there the first 2 practices. He looked very good. Participated, was a full participant in everything that they did. I wasn't there for the 3rd practice, where ultimately that was the point where they decided to go in a different direction. I expressed to them, I really wish that they would have given Kawhi more time. We have the benefit of having been around.
So real quick, so as y'all are seeing right here, Kawhi Leonard the decision was made by Team USA, not by the Clippers. Now, previously, when we had, discussions last week about the situation, the reports were saying basically he was being pulled off of Team USA, and they made this actual, real politically correct report. And all we really were doing was kind of speculating what actually was going on. And that's why I say it's so good that you actually get time to really hear and see, actually the situation for what it is when people get a chance to, have things settled down. Now that Team USA is in Abu Dhabi, you got Lawrence Frank coming out, which I want to, first of all, and I'm about giving just due where just due. I actually give Lawrence Frank credit for speaking upon this situation and the Paul George situation, because I want to, be fair. So I got to give him that amount of respect. But last week, this was the report. This was a statement that was getting up from Team USA, getting pulled from, Kawhi Leonard getting pulled from the team. Now, first off, before he even got to the team, they had to watch him practice at the Clippers facility, I think 2 weeks ago. And they said that he looked pretty solid enough to go out there and at least try to compete and represent his country. I'm not so sure which reports are true and which reports are not on how Kawhi Leonard looked, because you got one side saying that he looked good enough to go to, Team USA, which obviously that's what happened. You have the other report saying that they had concerns with his knee, leading up to, the actual, camp. So, like I said, this is why reports, you really can't really, you got to know who you're going to really, listen to and really follow. Mark J. Spears is another NBA guy, James Charania is an NBA guy. So, you don't know who's really on point and who's not. So it's good to hear from the actual real source that actually, has, the scoop and actually represents the player. That's why it's, so good to have that, that type of confirmation. So this is good for Lawrence Frank that he's actually reporting on this. But let me finish this video real quick.
I'm quiet for 5 years to see his body and see where he's at. He looked good to me. I know all the sacrifices he made in order to make this commitment to the Olympics. So it was very disappointing. Now, with that being said, I understand from USAB's perspective that they have to look what they feel is in the best interest of the team, despite what I think. They're also managing some other players who are dealing with injuries, so I understand that they have to do what's best. But, we were really disappointed, for Kawhi, and this is something we really wanted for him. But with that being said, now I think you have to move forward. We support USAB, desperately want to see them win the gold medal. I know that's how Kawhi feels too. Despite really wanting to play, he's there for his guys and wishing the best. And obviously, just with T. Lue and Jeff there too, it's want those guys to have the best experience.
So that's very, very different from what was reported. Like I just mentioned. As y'all come here, smash the like button. So this is what actually was said from Team USA. They said Team USA had concerns about Kawhi Leonard's knee, per B.A. Turner. Said people not authorized to speak publicly on the matter told the Times last week that there was concern about Leonard's knee after Grant Hill, the managing director of Team USA, Steve Kerr, the coach of Team USA, and Lawrence Frank, the Clippers president of basketball operations, watched them work out at the Clippers fan facility recently. Okay. Now, the reason why I want to bring this one up is because this contradicts what Lawrence Frank just said on this actual press conference, which was just literally not more than 24 hours ago, not even more than 12 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? So this report doesn't match what Lawrence Frank just said. So that's something that we got to actually dig and investigate. Like, why is this being put out there if Lawrence Frank is through his mouth saying something completely different? I have no doubt in my mind Kawhi Leonard wanted to play, because that's what he's always been for the last 4 or 5 years. When he gets hurt, he always says he's going to, be ready to go, and he doesn't go. But there's no doubt in my mind he doesn't want to play. So that scratches that out. When they say that Kawhi Leonard wants to play, that's not a question. Lawrence Frank comes out saying he wanted them to play as well. So we have to take his word for it pertaining to this. But my only thing is, this report says that there was concerns him going into camp. So we're still pre-camp. We're not even at the facility yet. And this report saying there was some concern with Kawhi's knee. Now, I don't know what this whole people not authorized to speak publicly is, you know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, when you start talking about anonymous people, that means obviously it's people that are hiding something. Because why wouldn't you come out and say nothing if you had, if you had nothing to hide? Why would you sit up there and just basically call yourself anonymous? He says people not authorized to speak publicly on the matter told the Times last week that there was concern about Leonard's knee. So who are these people saying that? And then Grant Hill, the managing director of Team USA, Steve Kerr, the coach of Team USA, and Lawrence Frank, the Clippers president of basketball operations, watched him work out at the Clippers facility recently. Now, Lawrence Frank just said there was no concerns. He's obviously sent him to Team USA on good faith that he would be fine. And not only that, he pushed it a step further and said that he was there for the first 2 days of practice and he looked good. So I'm not so sure where this is coming from, that he was all of a sudden concerned. It looked like to me he was basically upset that he couldn't participate in Team USA practice. So I'm going to throw that out the window. Now, as far as Grant Hill, I want to play something again real quick because there is something that really caught my eye, when he was speaking about this whole thing, because it's like I said, bro, if I see something that's a little bit sketchy, a little bit, weird, I'm going to catch it. I'm going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put it on the screen, but I wanted to kind of, let y'all hear what Grant Hill had to say because this is actually something that I want to actually, really touch on. So here we go.
So, yeah, no, we just, we know moving forward, as we leave Las Vegas and we get to Abu Dhabi, we hit the ground and it's a sprint to the finish line. And so, our decision was made, and I think we were open and honest and understanding through it all. And like I said, your heart goes out, but we have to do what's best for the team and protect the team and give ourselves the best opportunity for success. Well, I'm more of a foot and ankle guy, so I don't understand the knees. But no, I mean, we just felt that we had to pivot, and not to get into the particulars, in terms of what went into the decision, but we just felt it was in our best interest, but also in the Clippers and in Kawhi's best interest to move into a different direction. And we tried. I think we all tried, and we gave it a valiant effort. And unfortunately, we have to move forward.
I'm gonna let y'all listen a little bit longer because that didn't answer the question what the reporter said. But I'm gonna let y'all listen further to what Mr. Grant Hill had to say. So here we go.
The way that you are framing this, it makes it sound like you guys sent him home.
No, I mean we did. I mean, ultimately he was sent home, but we were in conversation with the Clippers on that. And
like, what's his take on this? Did he want to stay?
I mean, look, I think he wanted to be here, like all these guys want to be here, and we don't take that lightly at all. It speaks to the program and the opportunity, and so personally speaking, I know what it's like to want to do something, and your body's just not right, and I've lived that personally, and so I applaud him for coming here and willing to sacrifice, give up his summer, and represent our country and play for our program. And it just ultimately it didn't work out.
So I want to play something back what he just what actually was said, because like I said initially, and as y'all come to smash the like button, Grant Hill did not answer the question, or he didn't give enough clarity of what he actually meant, that it was in the best interest of Team USA for them to send him home, right? Initially, we said it was based off of injury because we felt like, Kawhi ain't played, in the playoffs. He hasn't played a full, playoff series or playoff run. So he shouldn't be going to Team USA. We understood that. We understood that point. My only thing is if you're going to do that, you should have done that way before he got to the last day of the game. Remember, he was announced on the last day of the game that he wasn't going to be playing. That's what was weird to me. This dude played throughout the entire week, practiced, worked out, and all of a sudden he couldn't play. So that's what kind of was strange, the timing to me. If you're going to pull him out of Team USA and not let him play, then you should have just done it, way before then. It shouldn't have took him all that time for them to say, okay, the game up, they're going to pull him out and send him home. Which also is a little bit also strange to me, because it's like Lawrence Frank said, he said they're dealing with other injuries. Y'all see Kevin Durant, he's dealing with I think a calf injury, kind of the same thing he dealt with when he tore his Achilles back in 2019 against the Toronto Raptors and Kawhi Leonard. He ends up tearing his Achilles when they called it calf injury for about 2 weeks. So he had a major Achilles injury right after that. He's still there. You got Joel Embiid, who looks like he's out of shape. He looks like he's moving, like he's not prepared to play. You know what I'm saying? He's still there. So they're dealing with other things, and the only person they send home is Kawhi Leonard. Now, the reason why I want to play this back again, because Grant Hill kind of did something that I really kind of was like, that kind of looked a little bit strange. But here,
we have to move forward.
The way that you are framing this, it makes it sound like you guys sent him home.
Y'all see that? Did y'all hear that? The reporter basically asked the same question. I think a lot of people were trying to figure out, you basically sent him home. Now, I don't know. Me personally, I don't know the last person who's actually been sent home from Team USA. Somebody had to put it in the chat. But usually when you get sent home, it's due to disciplinary reasons or, something very, very, major. Maybe a family emergency or something like that, where they have to, they have to attend to that. But they basically did send Kawhi home. They sent him home, and they basically, I don't know. It's just Grant Hill's kind of give you a grangy answer saying, it just didn't work out or your body isn't right. Well, did he say his body wasn't right, or did y'all put the emphasis his body wasn't right? That's what it's kind of coming to. Like I said, I don't know if Kawhi Leonard was one of the best players in camp. I was starting to hear that he was one of the best players in camp. So I don't know when this whole his body didn't look right. Like Lawrence Frank said, he looks fine the first 2 days. And one thing about the Clippers, I will give them this: they don't have no problem sitting Kawhi out, or pulling him out of a series if he's not hurt. They have no problem doing that. So if he said that he looked good, and Ty Lue, I'm pretty sure said the same thing the first 2 days, and the only game he missed was on the third day, then somebody's hiding something. Somebody's hiding something. Something ain't lining up. Is the man dealing with an injury, or is it something else that's behind this? Now, JM is basically saying it was something dealing with LeBron, which I don't think that's what it is at all. You can't just, if they felt like Kawhi was going to be a problem with LeBron, they wouldn't have brought him on the team in the first place. You know what I'm saying? But there is something else that I do want to bring up, which could be a little bit controversy, and it kind of lines up with Jaylen Brown, because we all know Jaylen Brown was held back simply outside of basketball reasons. You had 3 guys, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, and Derek White, who all got invites and got on the team, which Derek White's not even really playing, over Jaylen Brown, which is the second best player on the Boston Celtics. And we saw what Nike, who was affiliated with Team USA, they are not going to bring Kyrie Irving in. And it looked like they didn't want to bring Jaylen Brown in, who was the finals MVP and the conference finals MVP. You would think a person with those type of credentials recently would get an invite to Team USA to play. Damn sure over Jrue Holiday and Derek White. So obviously there's outside reasons why Jaylen Brown ain't there. But I think there's also people got to remember that there could be outside reasons why Kawhi Leonard is not there as well. Now, y'all remember, again, with history, Kawhi Leonard actually had what they called a copyright lawsuit against Nike, right? He had a copyright lawsuit against Nike just back in 2019 for his, logo called the Claw. As y'all come here, make sure y'all smash that like button. Now, I bring this up because I actually forgot about this, but this was somewhere Kawhi actually had, and his lawyers actually sued Nike over his Nike logo. So he ended up losing that lawsuit, but the fact that he actually chose to fight against it to get his logo, his royalty or his, whatever back to that, you can see if they were able to blackball Jaylen Brown and basically tell him he can't, be a part of Team USA, I don't know if they were so ecstatic about Kawhi Leonard. Now, one thing I will say, if they weren't excited about Kawhi Leonard, they wouldn't even brought him on the damn team. That's why I keep saying, if he was going to be so much of an issue with his money or with his injuries or whatever, he shouldn't have been invited on the damn team. But I want y'all to kind of hear what this has to say right here. I'm going to let y'all hear. It's about like a 50-second video, and then we're going to continue. All right, here we go.
Lost his copyright battle with Nike over the Claw logo. A judge ruling Nike's design is an independent piece of intellectual property put together by its team of designers, and it is distinct from Leonard's early sketch of the idea. So joining me now to discuss this further is SI legal analyst Michael McCann. Michael, in the lawsuit, which was filed during the 2019 NBA playoffs, Kawhi claimed that he came up with the design in college back in 2011. His drawing, obviously, in the same vein, but what are the key differences needed for a judge to see the Nike logo as an independent design?
Yeah, you're right, Madeline. It certainly is a similar sketch of what Nike landed at, but the judge felt that there were sufficient differences visually between the two. And among those differences are that the fingers are different in terms of their length and their direction. In addition, the font or style of the depiction is different, and that affects how the number 2, his jersey number, and his initials KL appear in it. So there are differences, and the differences were sufficient for the judge to rule the way he did.
Nike's logo, though, at very least looks like it was inspired by Kawhi's drawing. So does he have any legal ground in an appeal?
Yeah, Madeline, I think you hit on it. There's clear, at a minimum, there's an inspiration that this was not a random depiction that was unrelated to what he drew while playing in college. He does have the possibility of appealing. He could appeal to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit, and the appeal would argue that it wasn't appropriate for the judge to dismiss the case as he did, and perhaps he'll go in that direction. We'll see.
SI legal analyst Michael McCann, thanks as always for the insight.
Thanks, Madeline.
All right, so that was a quick little recap of, like I said, Kawhi Leonard having a lawsuit filed against Nike that he actually ended up losing back in 2019. But as you guys can see, Nike has shown us is that they will retaliate for things outside of basketball reasons. As y'all come here, smash the like button. Smash the like button as y'all come in here. So if Kawhi Leonard did that, which we all know he did, I could see there could be some outside foul play with this, because from what I was hearing from Lawrence Frank, Shams Charania, and Grant Hill, there was no real clear-cut reason of why they chose to let go of Kawhi. There was no clear-cut reason in terms of it didn't match from what Lawrence Frank was seeing from what Team USA was seeing. Now, I'm not going to completely say that Team USA didn't think there was concerns. Maybe they saw him the third day and just was like, yeah, he don't look right. He don't look like he's going to be able to, go game speed. Saying, things like, we tried. Maybe because they're about to go, they're overseas now. They don't want to go through the trouble if he actually does have problems, playing overseas. That that he probably could get hurt overseas and have to go home. You don't know what they may be thinking. But what pushback is again, Kevin Durant is not even playing right now. He's on the bench with a calf injury. So he gets to stay, but Kawhi has to go. So I will keep my eye open on that, but I thought that was kind of strange, just how Grant Hill was kind of answering the questions. And then on top of that, you go into this with this whole lawsuit that Kawhi had. Now he lost the lawsuit, but the nerve of him, according to them, for him to even sue over his own logo will turn some people off. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was foul play, but I'm not going to completely just go off board and say that's exactly what it is. But we'll get more information on that, and we'll talk more about that. But I want to go into now with Paul George. Again, this is a two-part situation right here. I want to talk to y'all about what Lawrence Frank said about PG and his contract negotiations, because he spoke about, I think 25 minutes today on his press conference. Like I said, I gotta give a lot of credit to Lawrence Frank because I was waiting for him to speak, and he did come out and talk about it. So now I want y'all to kind of hear what he said about Paul George in the contract negotiations, and then we're gonna come right back to it. So here we go.
Part of an extension, opt-in, extend, or anything like that?
Yeah, I think, not speaking for Paul, but I think the number he probably didn't include was the first number was his opt-in number at 50 million. So 50 million plus 60. So it was 110. And this was all prior to getting that heavy lifter. Once we got James, without anyone asking for anything more for both Kawhi and PG, the offers, both of them went significantly higher. Still managing max cap space in 26-27 and being out of the second apron in 25-26. And the goal was get you as much money as possible, but we still have to add to the team. I think the important part is you have to be honest with your players. Look, we're trying to win a championship. That's why we brought this group together. That's why we gave up so much to get Paul and Kawhi. The unfortunate part of it, we only had one healthy postseason. That's not anybody's fault, but that's the reality. So we're going to have to add another major player to the group.
All right, so that is Lawrence Frank speaking upon Paul George's negotiation. It was 1 minute and 7 seconds. I'm gonna let y'all hear it one more time, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it. And yeah, here we go.
Was that part of an extension, opt-in, extend, or anything like that?
Yeah, I think, not speaking for Paul, but I think the number he probably didn't include was the first number was his opt-in number at 50 million. So 50 million plus 60. So it was 110. And this was all prior to getting that heavy lifter. Once we got James, without anyone asking for anything more for both Kawhi and PG, the offers, both of them went significantly higher. Still managing max cap space in 26-27 and being out of the second apron in 25-26. And the goal was get you as much money as possible, but we still have to add to the team. I think the important part is you have to be honest with your players. Look, we're trying to win a championship. That's why we brought this group together. That's why we gave up so much to get Paul and Kawhi. The unfortunate part of it, we only had one healthy postseason. That's not anybody's fault, but that's the reality. So we're going to have to add another major player to the group.
All right. So that's Lawrence Frank speaking upon the contract negotiations and what with Paul George. So I want y'all to hear now, because I thought about this. We need to play back over a snippet of what PG talked about with the negotiations. I want to play a little bit of a snip back, not too much, probably like a 2-minute snippet of what his side is to the negotiations, and then I'm gonna go into detail about what I got from it. So here we go.
As it played out, though, like the first initial deal was, I thought, kind of disrespectful, right? And again, in all of this, no hard feelings, no love lost, no, like, it's a business, like you said. So the first initial deal was like 2 years, 60. So I'm like, whoa. 2 years, 60?
Hey, that's crazy, bro.
That's
great.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So I'm like,
wow.
No, I'm not signing that. Like, now we're getting into the negotiating. Like, I'm not taking that deal. And so they they're saying this, that, like, we view you, we want you and Kawhi here long term. Like, we want y'all to be here, all of this stuff, right? So then, as we're continuing to negotiate as the season goes on, and mind you, this was started before the season started. So this was kind of like, I could be wrong on actual timing, but this was maybe like October-ish.
So I want y'all to remember that part. He said October is when the negotiation starts. So he said before the season. Now, I want y'all to remember that, because I'm gonna speak upon that in a minute, but I'm gonna let it play for like another minute and some change. So here we go.
When negotiations first started, and it was 260. And as we kept going, it was like, they would go up, inches, to where it was like 44, 45, right? But this was like a couple months in between before we got it to 40 something. So I'm still like, nah, I'm not doing that. Then I hear wind of, like, what they're going to give Kawhi. So I'm like, just give me what Kawhi got. Like,
right.
Y'all view us the same. Like, we came here together. We want to finish this shit together. I'll take what Kawhi got. Like, no
cool
problem. I was cool with that. Like,
wow.
And we were still taking less. We were taking less. Wow. Kawhi took less. I was like, if Kawhi gonna take less, I'm not gonna say I want more than Kawhi. Like, I'm not gonna, like, it's not about me being paid more than him. Like, I'm gonna take what he got. Y'all give him that, give me that. They didn't want to do that. So this was before the All-Star break. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want, like, let's not even have no more conversations. Like, let's just play this year out. Cause it was starting to get into like my mood. Now I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to have that energy carry over into the team.
On the court.
So, cause I could see it starting to bleed a little bit into the team, where I was just like disconnected. I didn't want to fuck with nobody. Like, I was kind of just, kind of to myself a little bit. So I was like, man, let's just let this shit play out. Let me get to the end of this year, and we'll discuss this again. We'll pick up, conversations again. So we do that, right? Season in, I finished healthy. 74 games played. And had one of my most efficient seasons. So now we go into negotiations. Now they bring it to 3 years.
Where we at?
150. So basically around what they gave Kawhi. So a part of me was still like, all right, that's cool. It sucks that it had to get to this point, like that we couldn't get this figured out a lot sooner, but
way early, right?
Now we at the end of the year, 3 years, 150. So I'm like, all right, like now we're in a ballpark. You know what I mean? Now we can have conversation here. And again, it still wasn't about the money, because when I went back to have the negotiation at the end of the year, I presented the 150 no trade.
And that's where I think most people are having the problem with the no trade clause. As y'all come here, smash the like button. Now, I played Lawrence Frank's snippet, what he spoke about today, and I played also I played PG's right now. Real quick, 1 second. So I wanted to play that twice, and I wanted to play what PG had to say again. Now, the no trade clause is what the issue is, what it seems with a lot of people. Now, going back to what Lawrence Frank spoke about PG's contract or PG's situation, there's a couple things I want to point out. So I want y'all to hear it one more time, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go and really kind of depictiate it.
Part of an extension, opt in and extend, or anything like that?
Yeah, I think, not speaking for Paul, but I think the number he probably didn't include was the first number was his opt-in number at 50 million. So 50 million plus 60. So it was 110. And this was all prior to getting that heavy lifter.
So first off, like I said, I think we got to be honest about some stuff. So you guys heard what Lawrence Frank said. He said the issue is that when he said 2 years, 60 million, I'm talking about PG, he wasn't including his opt-in year, which was 50 million. So, of course, you guys know me being me. I'm always making sure I have everything with information for y'all, everything on point. So, of course, this was, the payroll for this upcoming season, what it would have been if PG was still on the team. And Lawrence Frank said that he did not include his $50 million player option. Now, if y'all can see on the screen right in the 24-25 season, y'all see Paul George's name. Y'all see that number in green. That's the opt-in. That's for people that are opting in. So Paul George has that option. PJ Tucker had that option. Russell Westbrook had that option. PJ Tucker and Russell Westbrook opted in their contracts, and Paul George opted out of his contract. So you can see his player option ain't 50 million, at 48 million. That's the first thing. I know it's a $2 million difference, but if we're going to be exact and be on point, it's not a $50 million player option. It's 48. Kawhi has a $52 million, what he's getting for this year. Now, this is the part that I'm a little bit not confused about, but I want to point out. When you talk about a contract, right? PG got that contract back in his years, about 2021. So y'all can see right here, it says Paul George signs an extension with the Clippers for $190 million. All right, so this was the contract he signed right after the 2020 year, after the bubble. He signed this 4-year, $190 million extension. This is what the contract entailed of his last year, which would have been this year, for $48 million for his player option. So, yes, he was up for a $48 million year this upcoming year, but this was part of his old contract. What PG was speaking upon is what he was offered on his new contract, was 2 years, $60 million. Lawrence Frank came out and said that he was supposed to add his $48 million player option to his new contract, which is not how it goes. His player option was part of his old contract. So when he said on his podcast he was getting out for 2 years, $60 million, that was correct. This is what he was being offered on his new deal for him to stay with the Clippers. That was what they initially offered him. But if we want to play that game and say, well, let's make it a little bit seem better that it was 3 year, $110 million, because essentially that's what he's trying to do. Let's play that game. So I went upon the league and I actually looked at some teams that are pretty similar in cap, pretty similar, you know what I'm saying, and spending. As y'all can see, the Clippers right now are 10th in spending this year. So far, they're at $177 million in spending right now this season. which is right under the second apron. They're in the first apron right now. So they're looking to make more moves. Of course, they're looking to get rid of Russell Westbrook, but according to them, they're trying to, possibly get another piece if possible. If they cannot do that, then they're going to probably be flirting around where they're at right now. But right now they're at 177 million. So I took the liberty, if y'all see these teams on the screen, Phoenix, Minnesota, Boston, Milwaukee, Lakers, Miami, Denver, Philadelphia, Dallas. These are the teams with the most salary cap. So I took a few teams off this list and let y'all see for yourselves what PG was being offered, which is essentially 2 years, $60 million, $30 million per year. And I want y'all to compare it to the type of caliber players that are getting that currently. So let's start with a team like the Phoenix Suns, or I'm sorry, the Miami Heat. Now, if y'all see here, you see Jimmy Butler for $48 million, $52 million over the next couple of years. You see Bam Adebayo at 34, 37, 51 million, 50 million. Now, me personally, I think PG's better than both of these guys. But I know some people are going to try to make a fuss about it and say, well, Miami went to the finals, BJ, so they deserve this. They're like, all right, well, whatever. I still believe PG's a better player than both of them. But whatever, I'll let y'all have that. But Tyler Hero is making $29 million this year, $31 million next year, and $30 million the year after, $33 million the year after. So essentially, are y'all going to sit here and tell me that Tyler Hero is the caliber player that PG is? Because he hasn't competed in playoffs for the last 3 seasons, his damn self. He hasn't competed in the playoffs ever since really, to be honest with you, the bubble. That was when he actually had his first and only really good playoff run. The rest of the years after that, for the last 3-4 seasons, it's been like here and there. He's been dealing more with injuries. So he's making what if PG would have had that contract, he would have been making the same as Tyler Hero. And then you got Terry Rozier at 24, 26 million. Let's go to the Phoenix Suns. Their contracts are ridiculous. They broke the bank. You got Kevin Durant, you got Bradley Beal, you got Devin Booker. All 3 of these guys are making well over $50 million every single year, and it continues to go up and up. Again, as I'm putting these people on the screen, these are the ones that are spending the most money. Right? Phoenix has the highest salary cap in the league. And a lot of that has to do with these 3 players. Now, this goes back to what I say, you're worth whatever a team was willing to pay you. Bradley Beal has a no-trade clause, and that's what the problem is with a lot of people keep talking about with PG asking for a no-trade clause. But this guy, Bradley Beal, hasn't done shit in the league other than score a bunch of points on a bad team, and he got a no-trade clause off of just simply that. But he hasn't had no playoff success, no real all-star success outside of like a few years. He hasn't really been known to be proven in anything other than the person, like I said, scoring points on a losing team. He got a no-trade clause, which all that means is that if you're going to trade me, I have to agree to the city that I'm going to. So like I said, no, there's not really a chain of command on who gets what. It's based off what a team is willing to give you. If Washington was able to give Bradley Beal that no-trade clause, that's more power to them. They obviously felt like he deserved it. But as I look at this list, the only person I see better than PG is Kevin Durant. And it's not really by much. Because Kevin Durant is starting to prove that he can't even lead his team past the first round. Over the last couple of seasons, even last year, you look at, he allowed Russell Westbrook to single-handedly take each one of those games to the brink when they were fully healthy. And then they get swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves this year. So what I'm saying is that you got guys in the league that's making way over $30 million who don't deserve any of that shit. If you want to go that way, go that route. You got guys who have a no-trade clause who don't need a no-trade clause. How about if we go to the Sacramento Kings? You got Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, and DeMar DeRozan. Now, DeMontis Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox had playoff success last year for the first time as a number 3 seed for the first time in the Western Conference. But prior to that, De'Aaron Fox wasn't really known for, like I said, a lot of these players are just coming out the woodworks out of nowhere. De'Aaron Fox, Ja Morant, Jalen Brunson, these guys are just having these one-hit wonder years, and then they all of a sudden become the best players in the league. They're not having continuous years of success, whether that be leading their teams or going to the playoffs. They're having one single great year, and then they just fall off. If I look at the De'Aaron Fox and DeMontis Sabonis, I don't think that DeMontis Sabonis is better than PG. Now it's kind of hard to compare because they play two different positions, but I'm talking about the burden that he carries, and based off of his style of play and what he's accomplished, DeMontis Sabonis has been a person like he just came to the party. Same thing with De'Aaron Fox. Now, if you want to say De'Aaron Fox is more of the impactful player because he's, the head honcho of his team, that's fine. But even that, you can't. There's no way you can explain a guy of PG's caliber getting $30 million. All these people I'm letting y'all see, all these players. You got Damian Lillard making $48 million and $58 million next year, and then $63 million. You got Chris Middleton at $34 million, who's on a decline in his career. He's already making over $30 million. And then you got the Timberwolves. This is the big one. Karl Anthony Towns, $49 million, $58 million, $57 million. You guys want to talk about somebody who ain't done nothing. This man has not been out the first round since this was his first year getting out the first round in his entire career. And he's making upwards of over $50 million per year. So when somebody keeps saying, well, they're not worth that, make sure you guys look across the entire league and see what these guys are really making. I mean, it's unbelievable the type of contracts and money they're just giving out. But my point is that Lawrence Frank has to be honest and understand, like, no matter how you slice it, whether it be 2 years, $60 million, or 3 year, $110 million, it's still $30 million a year. It's still an undervalued contract. It's still a contract that you know damn well he wasn't going to sign. And if you really look upon the league, the team, if you're honest with, you want to talk about being honest, you mean to tell me he goes from $48 million to $30 million for 25, 26, and $30 million again for 26, 27, while Kawhi makes $51 million, $50 million, and $50 million on top of each other? You're essentially telling me that he drops $20 million down on his salary. That's even crazy. When you look at these different players, they're moving up every year, and they're not moving down. They're not moving down. They're moving up every single year. That's a huge drop in your salary from going from $48 million a year your first year to $30 million. That's a huge drop. I understand, but you starting at a low price, but damn, that again, I give Lawrence Frank credit for speaking out and saying something, but that shit was not even, again, you can't even really, you can't clean that up. That's why I said when PG came out and Gate was transparent with those numbers and speaking upon it, you could tell he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying about his contracts. Why would he have a reason to lie? So he goes to Philadelphia. Now he's going to get $49 million, $51 million, $54 million, $56 million, which is a 4-year, $212 million deal. You know, that's how it's supposed to look. Your money's supposed to go up. It ain't supposed to go down. Who in the hell's money goes down if they're considered a star in the league? Y'all show me the player who goes from their contract being, let's say their player option years at $48 million, they drop all the way to $30 million for the next 2 seasons. Who in the hell, especially towards, their last contract? That just doesn't happen. And what I wanted the reporter to ask Lawrence Frank, what I really wanted him to ask is why didn't they honor his no trade clause? That was the $1 million question I wanted to ask him. Why didn't y'all honor his no trade clause? And then you're going to pretty much say, well, we feel like if it was needed, we would have to, we don't want to be basically held to PG's demands. Okay, fine. Then why do you keep telling him you want him here long term then? If you're telling me you want him here long term and you say that you don't have plans to trade him, but you're not giving him no trade clause, you're speaking contradiction, two sides of your mouth, like you did Blake Griffin, like you did Chris Paul. Then there's another part that he said something about how we have to build the team and we weren't good enough and this, that, and the other. Well, my only issue with that is how would y'all know how y'all good enough when y'all don't ever finish or y'all never have your best player on the court? You don't know what the hell could happen because he's not on the court. He's never there in the playoffs. And when I'm talking about him, I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard. Of course, PG missed the playoff series, but he only missed it one time. The bottom line is, again, I'm going to keep saying it. We ain't seen it because Kawhi Leonard has not been healthy. So when he says we weren't good enough, I mean, shit. If you look at the Western Conference, I mean, you have some good teams, but there's not a team that's actually head and shoulders above anybody. That's just they don't have that team that's head and shoulders above everybody. Denver's falling out. OKC is still young. Dallas got in based off of more so of injuries. Minnesota, y'all see that they still immature. Phoenix ain't, they're all offense, no defense. Sacramento, New Orleans is injured. Golden State, they have to rebuild. Like all these teams, the Lakers, all these teams are kind of in the same realm. There's no team that's head and shoulders above anybody else. So I don't know what the hell Lawrence Frank is really talking about. But like I said, respect to him for at least speaking out, but I'm not buying it. Like I said, I'm going to keep saying Kawhi and PG had the best winning percentage outside of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown with that duo. So you can't tell me that shit didn't work. You had a team that was able to have multiple winning seasons every single year. So I'm not buying that shit. At the end of the day, Lawrence Frank got to be honest. They made a bad decision, a bad choice, and they tried to scramble with all these little hockey moves, and they're hoping like hell that Kawhi Leonard's knee holds up. But like I said, it could be some foul play. To me, what they did to Kawhi, it could be some foul play, but it also can well be just Kawhi Leonard again, them trying to save him from himself. But we won't know until later. But I know it's a little bit long of a video, but I hope that y'all enjoy. Until next time, respect, we say pull up a seat, pull up a chair, put it out, peace. Out of here like swim well.
I've been all around the world, Japan to Amsterdam. Meals nutritious, lifestyle was vicious, yeah. While these out here tried to hate mine, yet I still stood tall on the main line. Two-step, throwing up their gang sign. All around the city, big chain, but he ain't signed. Y'all fake tough, little puffs to my canines. Don't forget cracking at them hit boy parties. Probably had your girl naked at them hit boy parties. Big chains, big flexing at them hit boy parties. Nobody trip, cause they knew I had that big boy on me. Yeah, gang of fast living, addicted to cash get. Disrespected to getting the ass whipped. Don't call yourself a baller unless your whole clan get. Plan you got you ain't working, then you need to plan different.
This on west side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything.
don't need the Glocks out. Baby got her box out. Just dropped a man, now she looking for that knockout. He did her wrong, then he tried to shame, baby. And she was trying to bounce back, so I don't blame, baby. Cause it kick her up, one time fuck her up. A true big homie, I don't hear his name enough. Went through the real movie while y'all snowed on the bluff. Gotta give it up, big homie did his stuff. Now it's all about the bag play. Been around more smoke than an ashtray. Right cheek, left cheek, let her ass shake. On God, I'm 100 to my last day. West side, east side, yeah, I'm both for that. No talking, take off, bro, I'm known for that. 50 M's on the scales, yeah, I'm close to that. Yeah, you on the same mission, yeah, I'm hoping that. Make the money overlap.
West side over everything. Yeah, this on west side over everything. Hey, hey, it's on west side over everything. Yeah, it's on west side over everything. Throw it up, 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 throw it up. Yeah, that's it. Hey, homies. Yeah, 3-2-3s, 2-1-3s, 3-1-0s, 4-2-4s. Hey, 8-1-8. Yeah, what we missing? 5-6 toes, I see. Hey, yeah. Give it up. Hey, give it up. Hey, give it up. Battle Cat. Holla. That nigga Dom Kennedy. Yeah. Gotta love that. Yeah. Corrupt. We love you too.